So, at the end of the lesson, we spoke really quickly about these 4 factors affecting transpiration. And I'm just going to do a quick video to explain why those are. So, the first one is heat. And as I said in the lesson, the sort of starting point of transpiration is the evaporation of water from the spongy mesophyll. Heat's kind of an easy one. It will definitely increase transpiration. And that's because this evaporation of this water molecule and it's leaving through the stomata is much more likely with increased heat, because increased heat brings increased evaporation. So I'm going to put increased heat equals increased evaporation, and therefore increase transpiration. So increased evaporation, increased transpiration. So that's heat. Just going to get rid of that to keep it very clear what we're talking about. So wind is a little bit more confusing. And it will also increase transpiration. And the way that it does that is, if you imagine, so you've got our water evaporating. So let's not just have one water molecule, because that's too easy. Let's have all these water molecules, and they're trying to get out. So they're outside the stomata as well. So there's a few on the surface of our sort of spongy mesophyll cell, as always. If I get wind, okay, and I blow all of these water molecules away, so blow a few of those water molecules away, then we're going to get less water molecules around. And we're going to get increased evaporation and therefore transpiration. So that's actually how it works. It's just the fact that the wind blows away the water vapor that's otherwise sort of stagnant and just sitting there. So that's how wind increases transpiration. Humidity is a similar point. If it's really, so say we're in a desert, really dry, really dry. So it's similar premise, but not exactly the same. If it's really dry, there's no water molecules in the air. It's a really dry heat. So a desert would be a dry heat. And therefore, there'd be increased evaporation because there's less water vapor molecules in the way. So you get increased evaporation in a desert. But in a really humid place like a rainforest, so rainforests can almost steam, so they look like sort of saunas and steam rooms because there's so much water vapor in the air. So let's cover this in water molecules. It's a lot harder for that water molecule to evaporate off the spongy mesophyll. So humidity decreases transpiration. So it decreases transpiration. Sunlight, on the other hand, increases transpiration. And this is a very interesting point. And it's sort of twofold and it's complicated. I'm going to talk about the one that you should write in your exams come up first. And then I'll talk about another point. So, when there is increased sunlight, your plants will be photosynthesizing more. So you're going to get increased photosynthesis. When photosynthesis is occurring, you need this stomata open. And the more photosynthesis occurring, the wider your stomata will be open. So when it's dark at night, your stomata tend to shut. Your guard cells, which are the cells, this is a guard cell, tend to shut. But we're talking about sunlight. So in this example, there's loads of photosynthesis going on. You need your stomata open to let in that carbon dioxide and let out that oxygen that you're producing. So that would be O2, and this would be CO2. So sunlight actually increases transpiration because you have increased photosynthesis in increased sunlight, which will give you increased stomatal opening, which just means increased number of open stomata, or they're open wider. And the more gaps there are, so say we get another stomata over here, so if we put another stomata over here, there's more places for water vapor to leave. So you're going to get more transpiration as well. So sunlight gives you increased transpiration as well. Now, this is an extension piece. Sunlight will also increase transpiration for another reason. So, if I say that these are our palisades, so I'm going to do this all in red because it's extension, so you don't need to know this. So this is extension. So get rid of that just so it's not in the way. If these palisade cells are doing loads of photosynthesis because it's really sunny, so there's lots of sunlight, they're also going to use water up. So not only is water going to get dragged, through here, but also it's going to get taken into here. But if we're using water to make glucose, water is also going to disappear from here. And that too is going to drag water out of the xylem and into the leaf. And that's what transpiration is as well. It's this transpiration sort of stream, or this pattern in this chain. So that is the other way that sunlight can increase transpiration. There you have it, the 4 factors affecting transpiration and why, with some very, very poorly drawn cartoons. But I hope that helps.